Welcome to Lord of the Mysteries. If you've heard about this novel or Donghua and have no idea what a beyonder is or why everyone keeps talking about sequences, you're in exactly the right place. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through the world, the main character, and the power system, with just enough context to make sense of it all and no major spoilers. The story opens in the year 1349 of the Fifth Epoch, an era the characters call the Iron Age. It's an alternate version of a Victorian world. Steam engines, difference machines, revolvers, and airships exist side by side with divination, curses, and secret cults. Ordinary people have no idea any of this is real. The world has 4 continents, and our story mostly follows the northern continent, home to kingdoms like Loan and republics like Intis. At the start of the novel, the northern continent worships 7 orthodox gods, among them the Evernight goddess, the Lord of Storms, and the god of steam and machinery, each with their own church, followers, and secret enforcers working in the shadows. Our main character is Klein Moretti, a young history graduate living in Tingan City, in the Kingdom of Loan. But that's not who he originally was. Before Klein, there was Zhou Mingrui, an ordinary hardware engineer from modern-day China. After a string of bad luck, Zhou Mingrui tried a divination ritual from an old book called Quintessential Divination and Arcane Arts of the Qin and Han Dynasty. And that ritual is what pulled him into this world, fusing his consciousness with the dying body of the real Klein Moretti. The real Klein had died under mysterious circumstances, along with 2 friends, after all 3 of them got tangled up with a strange notebook from a family called Antigonus. Zhou Mingrui inherited Klein's memories, his family, an older brother, Benson, and a younger sister, Melissa, and his very ordinary, financially tight life. What he didn't inherit was any idea of what he'd just walked into. As the story goes on, Klein grows sharper, more composed, and far more dangerous than he ever was on Earth, while still holding on to the cautious, justice-driven core of who he used to be. I won't spoil where that journey takes him, but trust me, it's a long way from a broke history graduate. Chapter 3. Roselle Gustav, the first Transmigrator. Here's something that surprises new readers. Klein isn't the first person from another world to end up here. Over 170 years earlier, a man named Roselle Gustav arrived the same way. Roselle is the reason tarot cards, playing cards, and even steam engines exist in this world at all. He brought ideas from his own world with him and effectively kickstarted this world's industrial revolution. Roselle eventually became a founding ruler of the Republic of Intis, and the church tied to his legacy is now known as the Church of the God of Steam and Machinery. He also kept a diary, written entirely in a language no one in this world can read. Finding and translating pages of that diary becomes one of Klein's ongoing goals, since it holds real answers about how this world's power system actually works. Chapter 4. What is a beyonder? So, what's the actual power system here? People who gain supernatural abilities in this world are called beyonders. They're stronger and more durable than ordinary humans. But that power comes at a real risk of losing control and turning into something monstrous. Most people become beyonders by drinking a potion made from rare, otherworldly ingredients. A smaller number, called boon recipients, gain power directly from praying to beings as powerful as gods. Either way, becoming a beyonder isn't something you can just decide to do on a whim. Churches guard the process carefully, and drinking the wrong potion, or one too strong for your level, can end in madness, a twisted personality, or total physical breakdown. Because of that risk, most of the general population has no idea beyonders even exist. It's a hidden world running underneath the one everyone else sees. Chapter 5. Pathways and Sequences. Every beyonder follows something called a pathway. There are 22 standard ones, each tied to a major arcana tarot card, and each governing a different domain, like time, death, storms, or knowledge. Choosing a pathway basically decides who your allies and enemies will be going forward. Within each pathway, there's a sequence ladder running from sequence 9, the weakest starting point, up to sequence 0, a level that borders on being a true god. Sequence 9 and 8 are considered low sequence, 7 through 5 are mid, and 4 through 1 are high sequence, sometimes called demigods. The lower the number, the more absurd the abilities get. We're talking control over weather, stealing years from someone's life, or bending time itself. Chapter 6. Potions and the Acting Method. Drinking a higher level potion doesn't instantly hand you full control of its power. It just qualifies you to start learning it. And here's the twist. Most Beyonders have to digest a potion by acting the part of their sequence's name and reputation. This is called the acting method. It sounds strange, but it works because your mind and spirit need to align with the power you're taking on. Otherwise, you risk hearing whispers, losing your grip on reality, and sliding into madness. The catch is you have to act the role without becoming it. Lose that line and the power starts controlling you instead of the other way around. Chapter 7. The Tarot Club and the Gray Fog. Early on, Klein discovers he can reach a strange space above something called the Gray Fog, reached through a specific ritual involving 4 candles, 4 steps, and 4 chants. Inside this space, he can strengthen his own abilities, block outside interference, and even summon other people into it. He uses this power to found the Tarot Club, a secret meeting space where members hide their real identities behind a wall of fog and choose a codename based on one of the 22 major arcana cards. Members trade information, potions, and mystical items under a strict rule of fair, equal exchange, and no one is allowed to reveal that the club even exists. For Klein, the Tarot Club becomes his main lifeline for understanding the world he's trapped in. Chapter 8. Sealed Artifacts and the Nighthawks. Beyond potions, this world also has sealed artifacts, dangerous mystical objects, graded from 3 down to 0, each with powerful abilities and equally serious downsides. The 7 Orthodox churches spend enormous resources hunting these down and keeping them locked away. Enforcing all of this are groups like the Nighthawks, who serve the Church of the Evernight Goddess and secretly operate under cover of a private security company in Tingen City. Similar enforcement groups, the Mandated Punishers and the Machinery Hive Mind, serve other churches in other regions. Behind the ordinary world you'd recognize, there's an entire hidden hierarchy keeping the balance between gods, monsters, and secret organizations. And that's your beginner's map to Lord of the Mysteries, the world, Klein Moretti's true identity, Beyonders, pathways, sequences, and the secret organizations working in the shadows. There's a lot more waiting once you start the novel, manhua, or Donghua yourself. This is just enough to walk in without feeling lost. If this helped, hit like, subscribe for more breakdowns, and let me know in the comments what you want explained next.